Welcome back to Car Cube, the place where passion meets precision, and where every rev of the engine tells a story worth hearing. Today's story is about something special, a car that doesn't just move, it speaks to your soul. The 2025 Lotus Emira. This car is not just the final combustion masterpiece from Lotus, it's a love letter to pure driving. A symbol of what happens when art, engineering, and emotion merge into a single creation. So, sit back, relax, and let's take a deep dive into what makes this machine so extraordinary, so human, and so alive. Imagine a car that doesn't need to shout to be noticed. That's the Emira. The moment you see it, you realize it doesn't follow trends, it sets them. Its design whispers sophistication and shouts performance at the same time. The front profile feels alive, sculpted like it's been cut by the wind itself. Every curve, every contour is placed with precision, not just for beauty but for function. The 2025 Emira carries the soul of the legendary Lotus Emira Siege, yet it's dressed in a suit that's modern, muscular, and undeniably beautiful. From the moment the light dances across its surface, you know you're looking at something crafted, not just manufactured. The headlights, slim and focused, sit like the eyes of a predator ready to pounce. Air intakes on the sides breathe aggression, channeling air with purpose. The stance, low, wide, perfectly balanced, feels like it's hugging the earth. There's no excessive chrome, no unnecessary flamboyance. Just pure aerodynamic intent. The rear design continues the story, with slim LED taillights stretching across the body, a sculpted diffuser, and those perfectly centered exhausts that promise more than just looks. They promise sound, thrill, and heartbeat. It's the kind of car you don't just look at, you stare at it until it leaves, and even then, it stays in your mind. But let's be honest, Lotus has always been about driving, about connection, about the experience between the driver and the road. The Emira continues that legacy, but this time it wraps it in comfort, technology, and luxury. As you open the lightweight door, you step into a world that feels new for Lotus. Gone are the bare-bones interiors of old. The 2025 Emira welcomes you with a cockpit that feels premium yet purposeful. The seats hug you tight, sporty but not punishing. The materials are rich, from Alcantara to fine stitched leather, each surface designed to please both your eyes and your fingertips. The driver's position is perfect. You sit low, centered, and completely in command. Ahead of you, a fully digital 12.3-inch instrument cluster delivers crisp graphics, while the 10.25-inch infotainment system brings Apple CarPlay and Android Auto into a world that used to reject such comforts. But Lotus didn't let technology overshadow emotion. The gear lever, the steering wheel, the pedals, they all feel mechanical, tactile, precise. This is a car that still believes the driver matters. You feel every millimeter of movement, every vibration, every heartbeat of the engine. Close the door, and the world outside fades. Start the engine, and the Emira's V6 wakes with a growl that immediately tells you this isn't just about numbers, it's about feeling. Under that beautifully sculpted rear sits a 3.5-liter supercharged V6, borrowed from Toyota but tuned by Lotus to sing a different song. It produces around 400 horsepower and 420 Nm of torque, sending power to the rear wheels through either a precise 6-speed manual or a lightning-fast automatic. 0 to 60. Around 4.3 seconds. But those numbers don't tell the full story. What matters is how it feels. The throttle response is instant, the steering is alive, and the chassis feels like an extension of your thoughts. Drive it through corners, and you'll feel what makes Lotus, Lotus. The hydraulic steering communicates everything, every texture of the road, every grain of asphalt. It's analog perfection in a digital world. The suspension, engineered to perfection, delivers balance and control without compromising comfort. On a winding mountain road, the Emira becomes poetry in motion. It turns in sharply, grips endlessly, and dances with precision. This is not just a car you drive, it's a car you wear. Even in the age of hybrids and EVs, the 2025 Lotus Emira proves that there's still room for passion. And for those who want something even more efficient, Lotus is offering a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine developed with AMG. That one delivers around 360 horsepower and offers a slightly different character, lighter, more agile, more turbo punchy. Whether you choose the V6 or the AMG 4-cylinder, you get a car that redefines balance, precision, and engagement. But it's not all about raw performance. The Emira surprises you with how livable it is. The cabin is quieter than any Lotus before it. The infotainment system is intuitive, the build quality finally feels solid and refined. There's real storage space, cup holders, and even usable luggage compartments, things that were once foreign to a Lotus owner. You could actually take this car on a weekend road trip and not feel punished for loving driving. The climate control works beautifully, the seat adjustments are electric, and the ergonomics are spot on. It's an everyday sports car that still thrills like a track machine. And then there's the sound. Lotus has always been about purity, but the Emira introduces a soundtrack that's addictive. The supercharged V6 sings from idle to redline with a raw, metallic tone that makes every tunnel an event. Downshifts crackle, upshifts roar, and the whole experience feels alive. No fake noises, no artificial drama, just pure mechanical music. It's the kind of sound that reminds you why internal combustion will always have a special place in our hearts. Take it on the highway, and the Emira feels composed. The aerodynamics keep it planted, the steering remains steady, and the suspension swallows imperfections without complaint. This is the first Lotus in years that feels truly premium, something that can stand next to a Porsche 718 Cayman or an Alpine A110 and look them straight in the eye. Yet, it retains that unique Lotus DNA, lightness, simplicity, connection. It's a car for drivers, built by drivers. When you look closer, the details keep impressing you. The paintwork is deep and flawless, the wheel designs are sculpted to perfection, and even the smallest switch feels like it's been thought through. The Emira isn't just a car, it's a statement that Lotus has evolved without losing its essence. It's modern but analog, digital but emotional. It reminds us that technology should enhance the experience, not replace it. Now let's talk about something equally important, the price. The 2025 Lotus Emira starts at around $85,000 for the i4 AMG version, while the V6 First Edition can go up to about $105,000 depending on configuration. At first glance, that might seem like a lot for a Lotus, but when you consider what you're getting, the craftsmanship, the performance, the heritage, and the sheer beauty, it starts to make perfect sense. Compared to its rivals, the Emira offers a unique blend of soul and sophistication that few others can match. It's not just a car you buy, it's a car you feel proud to own. For enthusiasts, this car represents the end of an era and the beginning of another. The last Lotus with an internal combustion heart, the bridge between the analog past and the electric future. You can feel the passion that went into every bolt, every weld, every decision. This is the kind of car that will be remembered, not for its technology, but for the emotions it creates. And that's what driving should always be about. In a world where everything is becoming autonomous, where silence replaces sound, the Emira reminds us of the joy of control, the thrill of imperfection, the art of driving. It's not the fastest car in the world, but it might just be one of the most soulful. You don't buy it to impress others, you buy it because it speaks to you. Because when you're behind the wheel, everything else fades away, the traffic, the noise, the routine. It's just you, the car, and the road ahead. Take it through the city, and people turn their heads. It doesn't scream for attention, yet it gets it effortlessly. Park it next to anything else, and you'll see the difference, the Emira's proportions, its stance, its elegance. It's not about being flashy, it's about being perfect in proportion, pure in form. Even when it's standing still, it looks like it's moving. That's the magic of good design. Lotus has spent decades chasing lightness, balance, and feel. The Emira is the culmination of all that experience. It feels like the company's greatest hits album, all the best traits of Lotus cars refined into one final masterpiece. It's engineered in a way that makes every drive feel special, whether you're doing 30 miles per hour or 130. On track, it feels razor sharp, giving you feedback through every corner. The chassis stays neutral, the brakes bite hard, and the car moves like it's reading your mind. You can feel its 1,400 kilogram weight dancing perfectly between grip and slide, always playful but never out of control. On the road, it feels alive but never tiring. That's what makes it rare, a true driver's car you can actually use every day. Inside, the little details make you smile. The stitching aligns perfectly. The infotainment screen doesn't lag. The digital cluster changes smoothly with the driving mode. Even the startup animation feels exciting. You can tell Lotus wanted to make the Emira not just thrilling but also lovable, comfortable, and practical. The 2025 Emira also marks a turning point for the brand. With their upcoming electric Avaya and Type 135 models, Lotus is heading into a new era. But before that future arrives, they've gifted us this, a pure, gasoline-powered celebration of everything we love about cars. It's not just the end of an era, it's a celebration of it. When you park it after a long drive and walk away, you can't help but turn around and look at it again. That's how you know it's special. Cars like this aren't just machines, they're memories waiting to be made. They're the kind of cars you dream about as a kid and save for as an adult. The Emira has that kind of magic. So, who is the 2025 Lotus Emira for? It's for the dreamers, the purists, the ones who still believe that driving is an art. It's for those who find joy not just in arriving but in the journey itself. For the enthusiasts who crave the sound, the feel, the control, this car delivers all of that and more. It's the kind of car that makes you fall in love with driving all over again. And when you compare it to its rivals, the Porsche 718 Cayman, the Alpine A110, even the Toyota Supra, the Emira holds its own effortlessly. It might not be the quickest in a straight line, but in emotion, design, and experience, it's right at the top. Lotus has created something that feels both timeless and forward-looking, both elegant and raw. It's a masterpiece in motion. As the sun sets behind the mountains and that golden light hits the Emira's curves, you start to realize why this car matters. It's not just a machine, it's a message. A message that driving still matters, that connection still matters, that emotion still has a place in the modern world. It's the kind of car that will be remembered decades from now as the one that kept the flame alive. If you ever get the chance to sit behind its wheel, do it. Feel the steering weight, hear the engine sing, sense the balance through your fingertips. That's not just engineering, that's art. That's Lotus. And as you finish your drive, you realize something beautiful. In an age of instant gratification, the Emira teaches patience, presence, and passion. It's a reminder that some things are worth waiting for, worth driving for, worth loving deeply. So, to every car lover watching this isn't just another review. It's a goodbye letter to an era, signed beautifully by Lotus with the Emira. The 2025 Lotus Emira is not just the end of the road for combustion at Hedel, it's the beginning of a legacy that will echo through every enthusiast's heart. This has been Car Cube, where cars aren't just reviewed, they're celebrated. If you felt the emotion behind this story, make sure to hit that like button, share this with someone who loves cars as much as you do, and subscribe for more stories that keep the passion for driving alive. Until next time, keep your hands on the wheel, your heart in the revs, and never stop chasing the road.